Hey, what's up everyone, it's Patrick, and welcome to my guide to the Giant Dwarf quest on RuneScape 3. You do this on old school RuneScape, I have a guide for that as well, link description below. On screen right now is everything you need to prepare yourself for this quest. Green text is everything you absolutely need, and the white text is basically everything else, including explanations on where to get the items needed. Also, you may have noticed there are two separate sections here called items recommended and optional items, which arguably have similar meanings, so let me explain. Items recommended are things that I personally think will help you with the quest that I also brought myself. The optional items are helpful for this one particular part of the quest where you basically have to bring random items to an NPC, and when I say random, I mean what you bring in the quantity will vary for each player, and you have to do this quite a few times, so under optional items is just about everything you need for that. I personally did not bring these because I have a couple methods where you can easily travel between the NPC and the Grand Exchange just to buy what you need and go back. Now obviously if you're an Ironman you can't use the Grand Exchange, so you would have to gather all these items yourself. In that case, I also want to mention that you will be timed. You get about 10 to 15 minutes to turn in each set of items. The time varies as well, so if you're an Ironman you might actually want to prepare these ahead of time, at least the higher level stuff such as the Mithril. I think everything else is relatively quick to get if you have teleports to get around. This video is brought to you by the awesome members of my Patreon. If you want access to some exclusive perks, check out the link in the description below. Enjoy the video, everyone. To start the quest, go to the cave northeast of Relica, shown by a yellow mark on this map. You can get there using the Fremnik Province lodestone, variant code DKS, Enchanted Lyre, or teleport to house if your house is in Relica. Enter a tunnel if you haven't already, then go through the cave entrance to the east. Speak to Door and Boatman and select option 1. Yes, I'm ready and don't mind it taking a few minutes, and you'll get a cutscene. Continue the conversation with Commander Veldeban and accept the quest. Go into this building on the other side of Kellegrim. You can cross over by using the bridge to the north, or what I personally think is a shorter way is to go through the big building to the east. How this works is that first you go upstairs, then go all the way east. Notice how this floor is connected on both sides. Climb down the stairs on the other side, and here you are. The building you're supposed to go to is right outside. Speak to Blazadar, the sculptor, and select option 2. Yes, I'll do this. Head into the big building to the west. Go to the silk shop in the southwest corner, speak to Vermundi, and select option 2. Yes, I'm looking for some special clothes. Head to this building on the other side of Keldegrim. By the way, if you have a Luck of the Dwarves ring, that's what I just used to automatically teleport to the other side. It might work with Hazelmere's Signet ring as well, but I'm not sure because I'm not rich enough for that one. Speak to the librarian and select option 2. Do you know anything about King Alvis's clothes? For this next part, your weight will need to be under 30 kg, I believe, which is why I wrote on the item list in the beginning to not bring anything that's not on my list. If you have armor or whatever, you can drop it and pick it back up after, or use the bank to the west. When you're under 30 kg, climb the bookcase on the north wall with a ladder in front of it to receive a book called Scholar's Guide to Dwarven Costumes. You can pick your stuff back up after getting the book. Go back to Vermundi at the silk shop on the other side of the big building. Speak to Vermundi and select option 2, yes about those special clothes again. Use your coal and logs on the spinning machine. Click on the spinning machine to light it. Speak to Vermundi and select options 2 and 1 to receive the clothes. Head to this big building on the other side in the southwest corner. Speak to Saro and select option 2. Yes, I'm looking for a pair of special boots. Go to this house just north of the bank. Speak to Dromund. Get out of his way if you have to, because you have to make sure he keeps walking. He walks in a circle, and you're going to wait until he walks past the table just east of the door on the south wall with the left boot on it so that his back is turned to it. Take the left boot quickly when that happens. The right boot is on the other table near the northwest corner on the north wall. Stand next to it, but from the outside of the building next to the window. You can't just grab it from inside the house because of the cat. Wait for Dromund to pass his table as well, then cast telekinetic grab on the right boot, which requires 1 air rune, 1 law rune, and for you to be on the normal spellbook. Go into the building to the west, speak to Santiri, and select option 2 3 times. Use the 3 cut sapphires on the axe that it gives you in your inventory. Speak to him again and select option 2. Yes, I'm looking for a particular battle axe. You now have to go to Thurgold the Dwarf at One Skipper Point. If you have not yet completed the Knight Sword quest, then you must speak to the librarian here in Keldegrim first, then speak to Reldo in the Varrock Castle Library to ask him about the Encandle Dwarves. But if you've already done that, you can just go straight there. You can get to or near Muskipper Point by using favoring code AIQ or the Port Sarum Lodestone. Speak to Thurgo, you may or may not need to give him a red berry pie. If not, the chat options will be 2, 3, 1. I'm not sure what the options are if you do, as I didn't have to do it, but you'll know when you have to based on whether or not they let you progress. Just read the options you're selecting, and if you do have to give him the pie, just select that option to give it to him. If you selected the correct chat option, Thurgo should teleport you to Keldegrim. Speak to Ricky, the sculptor's model, to give him the clothes, axe, and boots. Speak to Blazadar, the sculptor. Go upstairs in the big building to the west. This next part can be a bit confusing, so make sure to pay attention, and I'm going to explain it in parts. In this first part, I'm going to explain your overall objective and give you a basic summary on how to do it. There are multiple companies up here, and you have to join one. It doesn't matter which one, but you cannot join the Red Axe. Yellow Fortune is only for females, and the Brown Engine is only for males. You might actually want to watch me do it first, because this is the part I mentioned in the beginning that will be timed. Whichever company you decide to pick, speak to the secretary, and select option 3, is there anything I can help you with? They'll assign you a task to bring them however many of whatever ore. Just make sure to read what they ask for, as it does vary from player to player. Bring whatever it is to them, and they cannot be noted, by the way. You have to keep doing these tasks until the secretary is no longer willing to speak to you, and they'll instead tell you to speak to their director. I'm now going to show you my preferred travel method, how to quickly get the ores and get back. This is optional, but you can use either a Hazelmere Signet ring, a Luck of the Dwarves ring, or a Ring of Wealth to teleport to Grand Exchange, or go to the mine carts in the southeast corner of Keldegrim. Go to the last cart at the end of the first track, take that, and select Grand Exchange to go there. Once you're at the Grand Exchange, you can of course just buy what you need. Go to the trap door in the northwest corner of the Grand Exchange, right click it and choose travel to return to Keldegrim. Even if you're an Ironman, this can be helpful. Obviously you can't use the Grand Exchange, but you can get your ore from wherever first, then use a trap door shortcut to quickly get back to Keldegrim. If you have a Hazelmere Signet ring or Luck of the Dwarves ring, you can teleport as much as you want between the Grand Exchange and Keldegrim. Once again, just do the task for secretary until they tell you to speak to the director. I'm going to skip ahead to that part. You're now going to speak to the director, of course, and select option 3, do you have any more tasks for me? You're basically going to do the same thing as before as you did with secretary, but the director is a little more complicated, as they specifically required smelted bars, not ores. Regardless, you're going to repeat this and do these tasks until they ask you if you ever consider joining the company. It's important that you read the dialogue, 1, so that you know what you're getting from it for the task, and 2, so you don't miss the dialogue asking you to join the company, because you'll still get the chat option to do more tasks for them. Obviously, at that point, it can be ignored, and instead you're going to select options 2, 3, 1, 1. Go back to Veldeban on the west side of Keldegrim. Speak to Veldeban and select option 1 for I'm ready. If you would like to skip the meeting, which will give you a cutscene that lasts a couple minutes, by the way, you would then select option 2 twice. Obviously, if you're into the lore and you want to attend the meeting, you can choose to do so. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for future videos to come if you haven't already. There are also links in the description below for my Patreon, donation link, Twitter, and Discord where you can interact with me. Donations can also be made directly through YouTube now with thanks option near like button below the video. Anyways, catch you later. Peace.